Drawing realistic eyes is tricky, and it's not because you don't have the right pencils, it's because no one tells you the little things that make the biggest differences. If your eyes look flat, too harsh, or just off, it's probably one of these three things. The structure is wrong, even perfect shading won't fix a bad foundation. The colours aren't layered properly, real eyes have so many subtle tones. The blending is either too much or not enough. Smooth doesn't always mean real. Today, I'll show you exactly how to fix that, not just step by step, but why each choice matters. This isn't about copying a tutorial, it's about understanding how to make your drawings feel alive. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is sketch out the shape of the eye. Now, every eye is different, so don't just draw a generic almond shape. Pay attention to your reference. The iris isn't just sitting in the middle of the eye, it's actually tucked behind the eyelids. So make sure you're not drawing a perfect circle, just floating there. I start by mapping out the shadow areas around the eye. This helps with placement and makes sure the eye doesn't look odd in isolation. Trust me, eyeballs on their own look really weird in photos, so framing it with a bit of surrounding skin helps. Once we've blocked in the skin area, I lightly shade in the pupil. It's always one of the darkest areas, so getting that in early helps everything else sit properly. Then I start adding colour to the iris. At this stage, we're not worrying about details, just gently layering the colours we see. I'm using some deep blues and bright blues for this one. It's going to look grainy at first, and that's completely fine. Realism isn't about making it look perfect from the first layer. It's all about building it up gradually. Now that we have a base, we can start bringing depth into the iris. One of the biggest mistakes people make is outlining the iris in black. Real irises don't have a harsh outline, it's more of a soft transition. So instead of a solid black ring, I'm using deep blues to define the outer edge gently. I also pay attention to the natural textures inside the iris. Eyes have all these little flecks and radiating patterns. I use a sharp pencil and light flicks to mimic those details. The key here is variety. Don't make all your strokes the same length or direction. And of course the pupil needs to be deep and rich. I gradually darken it up, but I don't press too hard straight away. Remember, layering is what gives you control. Now let's start refining. One thing I always say is that blending isn't a separate step. It happens naturally as you layer. Instead of using a blender tool, I take a lighter pencil and softly layer over the darker tones to smooth things out. This helps reduce graininess and gives that natural shine to the iris. Also, think about colour mixing. If you're layering blues and yellows, you're going to get green. Now that's great if that's what you want, but just be aware of how colours interact. At this stage, I also deepen the shadows around the eye, making sure it's not floating on the page, but actually sitting within the face. I keep adding texture, details and colours to the iris, building up the layers and darkening the outside. One of the most important details, the catchlight. The eye will only look realistic if it has that crisp, bright reflection. I make sure to leave a small area clean for the highlight. But realism isn't just about highlights, it's also about deep darks. I go back in and I darken my shadows in the iris, the pupil and around the eye. If everything is mid-tone, the drawing will look flat. You need that strong contrast to really make it stand out. Now let's talk about the whites of the eye, because they're never actually white. In this drawing I have one side that's cooler, so I'm using soft icy blues, and the other side is warmer, so I'm layering in soft pinks. The tear duct area also has strong pink and red tones. I use a mix of carmine, dark reds and a bit of orange to get a realistic fleshy look. It's easy to overlook, but these small colour variations really bring an eye to life. You may think that the pinks are a little too strong, but once you get the surrounding skin in, you'll see how important it is to ensure your shadows are dark enough. Now, let's move on to the eyelids and surrounding skin. This is where people often struggle because we tend to think of Caucasian skin as being pale, but in reality it has a lot of rich tones. I'm using a mix of sanguine, terracotta and apricot colours to build up the skin. I also define the crease of the eyelid with darker reds and browns. This helps frame the eye and adds realism. Again, I'm using a light touch and gradually layering. It's never one solid block of colour. The skin around the eye has so many subtle variations. Some areas are warmer, some cooler. Near the inner corner, I add a hint of pink to reflect the natural blood flow in that area. The upper eyelid will cast a slight shadow onto the eye, so I softly shade that in, making sure to blend it naturally. I also take my time to refine the edges of the lower eyelid, making sure it doesn't look like a sharp outline. Instead, I use a mid-tone colour to blend it gently into the rest of the skin. Layering is key here. Building up depth gradually will make the skin look more natural and smooth. Remember, blending will happen automatically as you add the layers. The shadows need to be really nice and dark, which will help with the contrast of the lighter eye area. Gently layer your colours. I like to use reds under my blacks to get real richness. Black on its own can look a little flat. Keep refining your edges. Don't forget you can use lighter colours over your darker ones if you're worried about the graininess of your drawing. The lighter colours will naturally smooth out the darker ones. If there are any highlights in the skin, leave these areas free of colour. Keep adding your skin tones, building up the layers gradually. You can even use a cotton bud to help smooth out if you want to. Use a sharp white to help define some of the brightest highlights in the skin and the eye. We're almost there. Time for final refinements and the dreaded eyelashes. The biggest mistake people make, drawing them like stiff spikes. In reality, eyelashes curve and overlap. I use a sharp black pencil starting from the base and flicking upwards. The lower lashes are finer and sparser than the top ones, so I keep them delicate. The top eyelashes are thicker and darker. They don't come from the eyeball, they sit on the inside eyelid, and it's important to ensure that you position them correctly or they will look odd. They curve out and then back upwards with lots of them crossing over. Go slowly, take your time. Once you've done a couple, you'll get into the swing of it. Do ensure you keep looking at your reference photo so that you know which ones are longer and where they start to get shorter. The eyelashes are the finishing touches and will make your eye look fabulously real. Finish your drawing by darkening areas, adding the reflections of the eyelashes to the iris area, and smoothing out the skin if necessary.